Hello, my name is Samuel Warwick. I have autism. The entertainment industry has been a huge part of my childhood. So by being inspired to see other entertainment podcasters interviewing other people from television shows, I decided to do one myself. To know about some funny behind the scenes, bloopers, and some stuff that we probably didn't know about while they were making the certain type of show. This is Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. Let's go to the podcast now. Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. I am your host, as always, Samuel Warwick, and I actually have three co-hosts with me today. I have one that's been in three, Mason Mcguinness.
Yep, straight out of the Great Lakes of Sandusky, Ohio here.
This is his third one, and I have a second host with me right now, who's been a second one, he was also in Mark Thompson in episode 5 with me, Jimmy Hayden.
I'm back!
Oh my gosh, and we have a new co-host, last but not least, Martin Kreps.
Hello, Sam.
Alright. And so I gotta ask all three of you, how are you three doing today?
Oh my god, I'm so excited and so nervous right now. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
This is... Mark Thompson already, when I was there, meant a lot to me. But this, because he is one of my favorite voice actors, but this, our special guest for this episode, played a big role in something that I hold near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And that is Jim Henson's Muppets.
Oh yes, and we're about to get introduced him just a little bit. So as a lot of you fans know, he has done a lot. He has done Cookie Monster's grandmother in Sesame Beginnings. He has also done Scooter in The Muppets Wizard of Oz, which I actually really enjoyed that movie because Ash Tinney was in it, and I really enjoyed that.
He was also the puppeteer of Animal in Muppets from Space, as well as being both Bag and Argyle Sock in the show Big Bag.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. And he is also animated for Veggie Tales, and he's done some. And even though I'm not a huge fan of the show, he's done the Tweedlebugs as well from Sesame Street in 2006.
But most importantly,
but most importantly, this is my favorite one. He has done none other than Waffle the Cow Monkey from Animal Jam, and 20 years ago from this time is when they were shooting the show. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you somebody that I've been wanting here for quite some time. He's also been on other podcasts too. None other than give a big noise for Rickey Boyd. Hello. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. It sounds like you guys are big Muppet fans.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Just one thing I just want to say. I want to just thank you for bringing something from my childhood that I found. I knew about the show for quite some time because I did watch it occasionally when I was little, but I refound it when the coronavirus was out. So. I did some more research on it when it came out, and it was nice of me to let you ask questions for both James Nobes and Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. And shout out to both goes to James Nobes and the people from Jake's Happy Nostalgia Time Show. You guys rock. Shout out to you guys, and so my first question is, what got you into puppeteering, if I may ask?
I really started as a big fan of Henson as a kid. I'm like 57 years old, so I've been around a while. And when I was a kid, there was no cable, there was no home video.
Yes, of course.
So you really, I remember coming home from school and Sesame Street would be on, and I was fascinated with the Muppets and wanted to know how they actually operated, and a little of the behind the scenes, which back then was really hard to get information because there was no internet, there was no Wikipedia, and there was no Google. So it was really hard to find information. But I had a friend whose dad was director at a local public access TV station.
Wow.
And that basically back then, that was sort of a low budget station that did local programming. And my friend and I would go in and build our own puppets, and they would let us shoot our own footage.
Wow.
In front of the cameras, which was a big deal. But to be, you know, nobody ever saw that stuff except us, but it was fun.
Yeah,
and that's sort of where I got the bug. And then later in college, I was an art and theater major in Rome, Georgia, at Shorter College. Wow. And I went back to the same station I went to as a kid and did my internship. And we did children's shows. And that's where I developed more of the puppetry. And I was never a great builder, but I could build well enough to do what we needed. And that's eventually what got me a job with Henson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That is really cool. And I think I don't know if this was one of your, but I did hear your stories about, you know, some of the first ones that you've done. I think when you did something you worked at dinosaurs, maybe. I don't know if that was first, but I think that was one of them.
Yeah, I started out doing assistant work on a job or two after I went up for the audition. They just happened to be shooting the next day, and they asked me to stay and assist. It was the, you guys will probably know this because you know everything, but there was a video called the Do-Along, Sing-Along tape.
Oh, yeah, I recently just watched that. I recently just watched that. That's actually really cool.
It was called Sing-Along, Dance-Along, Do-Along.
Do-Along.
Yeah. It was the one with Rolf, wasn't it? Like Jim Henson was Rolf?
Yeah.
I recently saw that tape. And
I'm looking back at it, and it says here on Muppet Wiki that was like one of, if not the first project you ever did with the Jim Henson Company. Yeah,
it was. I was the pig. Rolf was singing in the foreground, which of course was Jim. And then in the background there was a luau with a bunch of pigs playing instruments. And Richard Hunt directed, so it was the first time I met him. And I was asked to assist. I think I'm on the pig playing the marimba. So that was my first experience. And then after that, they would call me up. Usually it'd be a month or two, and they would call me because I still lived in Georgia, where I grew up.
Yeah, of course.
And I would go to New York or wherever they were shooting. They were very gracious, you know, to fly you in for those jobs. And the job might last a day, it might last a week, and then I began to do, I'm trying to think chronologically. I eventually was on Dinosaurs, but that was after Jim passed.
Yes.
Yeah. But chronologically, and if you have a question, stop me, but I did a commercial with, I filled in on Crazy Harry for a commercial for the Turner Network.
Yes.
Because they asked me to fill in.
You mean TNT?
Yes, TNT, Turner Network Television.
Yeah.
That was my second job. And then after that, I did Dog City on the Jim Henson Hour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
love that film.
Oh, it's a great show. And Jim, I think, won an Emmy for that. It was really good.
Oh, yes.
And that was about a...
Shockingly, it was the out of like 12 episodes in total, it was the only one that Jim Henson directed, I meant to say.
Yeah, directed. I think he directed that, and I think he may have also directed Song of the Cloud Forest.
Yeah.
So, really? Because what happened, I could be wrong about that, but what happened is
let me check into that.
They were shooting in Canada, so they were using a lot of Canadian puppeteers, so I couldn't be on for the whole show.
Yeah.
And, you know, that show is sort of a mixed bag. It was partially behind-the-scenes stuff, and then usually about a 30-minute story that was different every week. He pulled
you're
in
right.
on,
You're right. Yeah. That was directed by Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was not able to work on the entire series, but I did work on Dog City. I was Laughing Boy and a couple of other background characters, and then for Song of the Cloud Forest, I was Art the Armadillo.
Yeah.
And that was shot Dog City was in Toronto for 3 weeks, and then Song of the Cloud Forest was like a week in New York.
Oh wow!
And then after that, I did Ninja Turtles 1 and 2, assistant puppeteer on Splinter. And let's see what was after that.
Speaking of
Muppets from Space, and then Dinosaurs.
Yes.
Actually, that's kind of screwed up. Muppets from Dinosaurs came first.
Yeah.
1 to 94.
Yeah.
And I know this because Muppets from Space was filmed in 98.
Muppets from Space, let's see how it goes. I may be getting mixed up. After the second, Jim passed away after the first Ninja Turtle film.
Yes.
So between that time, I actually left something out. After Ninja Turtles, we did the Disney 3D film.
Yes.
It's in the parks.
3D,
right?
You mean Muppet Vision 3D?
Yes.
Yes.
We shot that, and Jim passed away after we finished. Not shortly after we finished.
That's really sad.
Yeah. So when we so then we came back to do Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh, right.
And Brian Henson was directing. I can't remember. Maybe he was second unit director on that. I don't remember. But anyway, so after Ninja Turtles 2, I think is when Dinosaurs started. And I wasn't on Dinosaurs until season 3 and 4.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says here that on occasion you would fill in for Kevin Clash as Baby Sinclair.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was doing Sesame Street.
Yeah, what would happen?
That's Elmo at that time.
Yeah, what would happen is they basically built a crew out. They flew a few people out to California, key performers for Dinosaurs, and I wasn't in that initial first group. But by the time they had gotten to season 3, Kevin was pulling double duty with Elmo and Baby, and was shooting at the same time. So they needed someone to fill in the weeks that he was gone, and they also didn't have a regular performer for Grandma Ethel. So they asked me to come in and do 3 things. One was to fill in for Kevin when he couldn't be there, and they would deliberately pick what I call baby light episodes, that were not heavy duty, because he's obviously very hard to fill in for somebody on something that major. But then Grandma Ethel was not in every episode, but Florence Stanley was the actress that originated her voice, and I could mimic it pretty well. So I could do a pretty good mimic and puppeteer, and then she obviously did the final. But so that was a blast. It was a wonderful show. It was my first time on a big primetime series, so that was cool.
Yeah. Now, I believe some of my friends do have a couple of questions, so who would like to ask some to Rickey as we go along here before I get into Animal Jam, because that's what I was mainly talking about. And I know that sounds selfish of me, but I want to talk about it because there's lots.
So,
should we do rock paper scissors for who gets to ask first?
I don't know.
I
don't really know. Oh, I think Mason asked a question already, so we'll go on ahead and let him.
Okay, so for my question, when you were working with Dog City back in 1989, I believe, how did you get the part to be one of Bugsy's henchmen at that time?
At that time, the way it usually worked then, I didn't really audition a lot early on. I had auditioned initially just to be with the company in any capacity they could use me. But usually what would happen early on was I would get a call from the production office, and they would say that there's this show coming up, and Jim wants you to play this character. And it was, very humbling and flattering, but that's how I got that. I mean, I didn't really audition for it. It wasn't a huge role as far as number of lines, but it was. They'll send me the script, and they'll say you're going to be playing Laughing Boy, and maybe give me a little background on the character. If they have a picture of the puppet, they might send that.
Wow.
And then when I got to Toronto the first day, they had all of us come into a room with a camera and just do some little play around and make sure that what you were doing worked. So then if they wanted to adjust it, they could. But in that case, they kind of went with what I did, so that was good for me.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
Cool.
All right, Jimmy, you got one?
Okay. I know I said I love puppetry, but okay, as many people know, in either 2005 or 2006, you famously decided to take a back seat from puppeteering and instead focus on animation. And what exactly made you decide to switch from puppeteering to animation and by association create the company Magnetic Dreams?
Yeah, Magnetic Dreams is an animation company here in Nashville. I live outside of Nashville now. I grew up in Georgia. Moved up here, just to back up a little bit. After Jim passed away, the work obviously slowed down for everybody. You know, there was a lot going on. Yeah. The original Disney deal fell through. Disney was going to buy Henson. That fell apart at the time. So there was a period of time where if you weren't working on Sesame, there was not a lot of work. So I moved to Nashville in the interim, but not for animation so much. I'm a huge animation fan and always have been since I was a kid. And I do a lot of artwork, so I always followed animation. But when I moved up here, I was hired to work for the Nashville Network, doing puppet characters, performing for the Nashville Network's outdoor block. And so I was here for about 5 years, working at Nashville Network, not doing animation, but doing puppetry. And also I could leave my contract work so that if I had work at Henson, I could leave and go do it. So that's when I went to do probably Big Bag and Animal Jam were during that period. But, you know, when you shoot a show like that, you're only really talking about a few weeks of shooting. So unless you're a really busy puppeteer, you have to do other stuff to make ends meet. So I was fortunate that I had a job working at a company doing puppet-related stuff, even though I might not be shooting. But after 5 years, they closed, they sold the Nashville Network, and so the company I was with, called Peppercorn Productions, you can look online for Fishing Through History or something called the Bass Whackers, and you'll see these redneck fisherman puppets, and those were the characters we did. But after, I think I was working on Muppets from Space when I got the call that they were closing the Nashville Network in Peppercorn. So in that period of time, I had just come off the film and I started trying to figure out what my next step was going to be. And there wasn't a lot of work, but I started pitching ideas, developing ideas, and pitched a few. I didn't have any luck getting them off the ground. But then I found out about Magnetic Dreams. Magnetic Dreams has been around for 25 years. I've worked there about 21 of those years.
Wow.
And so I started working with them with the understanding that if I had puppet work, I would leave and go do it and come back, and they're very gracious. So that's how it started. And I was good friends with Kevin Clash, who was, of course, Elmo on Sesame Street. And so, so after a while, I said to my boss here at Magnetic, Mike Halsey and Don Colwell, I said, you know, we really ought to do some work for Sesame. You know, we should do some animation. So we got in touch with them and showed them some of what we do, and they put us to work. So we started, we've done work, we still are working on Sesame stuff, even today, actually. So we do a lot of work. It ranges from 2D animation to 3D animation. The 3D Twiddlebugs was something I worked on, but we also did Elmo the Musical. We did Super Grover 2.0. We did
Didn't you play a moose in Super Grover 2.0?
I did. It was very good.
Oh, wait, it was that ice episode, was it? Like when they had like that pink lemonade? Oh my god, I remember that.
The frozen lemonade.
Oh my god, I remember that. I remember that episode.
That's funny that you remember it, but that was one of my favorite things to do, actually.
Jimmy, thank you for throwing that in there.
And folks, when Ricky Boyd said that he and Magnetic Dreams are still working with Sesame Street, he wasn't lying.
Yeah, I know.
I distinctly remember those ending credits at the end of Sesame Street's 50th anniversary celebration?
Yeah.
That was done by Magnetic Dreams.
Yes. They did the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, we're trying to find a way to honor the past animations. So what we did is we recreated some of them, because a lot of those companies are no longer around, obviously.
Yeah.
But we took a lot of the most famous, the typewriter, the noo, that guy.
It's like,
And we went through and tried to pick out some of the most obvious choices to put in the credits, so that was fun.
Yeah, of course.
Even if most of them were obvious, some of them were so rare that only like true fans would get. Like say the King of Eight or my personal favorite one, and the one that was, I didn't know how to feel about those end credits because I know that most of it was done using rigging animation. But there was one part that I know was completely done hand-drawn. And that was the small sketch with Elmo and Susie Kabloozy. That was my personal favorite part of that ending credits.
Yes, I remember her too.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
I remember her too. She was always a weird one.
Now, Susie Kabloozy was Mo Willems, didn't he?
Yeah.
He created that for Sesame, before he went so big with all of his books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's right. Mo Willems, for people who don't know, Mo Willems started off as a writer for Sesame Street, and he did create Susie Kabloozy.
Oh, yeah,
but he took what he did with Susie Kabloozy and a few other things and created two specific shows for Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. The Offbeats?
Yes!
And in the Big City.
Yes!
Oh, I think I remember those shows. Yes. Yes, I remember those.
I remember those.
Ricky, were you part of that by any chance?
No, actually, unfortunately, I never got to meet Mo. I know Joey Mazzarino was good friends with Mo Willems.
Yes.
And all, but I really was not on Sesame that much during that period. I was only there for a couple of seasons. Yeah. But so I didn't get to meet him.
Yeah.
Okay, Martin, it's your turn.
Okay. So Ricky, what was it like working on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Well, that was exciting because I'd never worked on a film before, not a major motion picture. And
wow.
I was working on, I was at the Henson office for something, I don't remember what show it was. And Jim, of course, this is when Jim was around, and he said, "Have you ever heard of the Ninja Turtles?" And I had heard of them because my brother, I had a younger brother that was into the cartoon, but I didn't know that much about them. And he said, "Oh, well, they're martial arts turtles. They kind of do karate." And, And he said, "You're going to work on the movie." And I was like, "Wow, okay." So it turned out that I was asked to assist Kevin because Splinter required 3 operators. Kevin would put his hand up into the puppet, operate his mouth, and do the voice and body movement, and then I would do the arms and hands. And then on the first movie, Sue Daker was a Henson Creature Shop performer that performed the facial, like there's a thing called a Waldo.
Yes.
That you put your hand in. And also some other controls that make the brows go up and down and make the ears kind of fold back. So and the eyes blink. So she did that. Rob Tigner was that puppeteer on the Ninja Turtles 2.
Wow.
But Splinter had these cool mechanisms. His hands were too thin. His wrists were too thin to get your hands inside, so it wasn't like wide hands.
Yeah.
There was a triggered mechanism that came out of the elbow, and you would operate the arm from back here. And then whatever you did with your fingers would translate out to the end of the hand. And you could you could pick up a cup, you could pick up things and put them down. It was pretty amazing.
Wow.
The artistry that went into it, but boy, was he heavy. Even, I don't know how Kevin did it. When we finished the shoot, Kevin asked me to put the puppet on so he could get a still photo, and I almost just fell over. I mean, it was like,
Yeesh.
I'm like, how did you do this? Because they built they had a support belt like a weightlifter might use, and it had an aluminum rod or tube that went up into the puppet to help hold the weight of the puppet. That's how big he was.
This is why it's stuff like this that makes me so glad that I always have and always will support Kevin Clash.
Me too.
Because like it's one thing to just like it's one thing to puppeteer a heavy character like Splinter, but to also voice Splinter at the same time, that is insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is insane. But I think now, because since we're 25 minutes in and he doesn't have, he only has so much time, I think I'm going to go on ahead and ask my questions about Animal Jam. But, of course, I know about, the whole thing. You played Shock the Monkey with Waffle and, all these things. And I'm hearing that originally Drew Massey was originally gonna do Waffle for the actual show instead of, because he's done stuff like Sid the Science Kid. He's done, I did hear that Drew Massey was originally gonna do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yours was a little bit of a last, not last minute, but like a kind of sort of like a surprisable thing.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise and a happy coincidence for me, because I remember I was still living here in Nashville, so I never really moved to LA or New York, so I wasn't quite in the loop on things. When I first started, usually I would just, they would tell me what I was going to do next. As things changed after Jim passed, there was just not as much work, so it was a little harder to know what was going on. And I remember I just occasionally I would call Kevin or I'd call Joey Mazzarino, just say hello, what's up. And I just happened to call Joey out of the blue, just cold call. I said, hey man, what's happening? He said, oh my gosh, I just left an audition. You've got to audition for this.
Wow.
And I said, what is it? He said, it's the Waffle the Cow Monkey. You're perfect. Because, I mean, it's true that I have a southern accent.
Yes.
And I'm not a cowboy, but...
Yeah, of course, man.
So anyways, I called the office, and they said, you know what? That's a good idea. So they sent me it wasn't the final puppet. The puppet was in progress being built.
That was pilot. That might have been a pilot puppet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so it was a very a wonderful puppet. It just wasn't the final one, but they said, to keep you from having to fly out, we'll just send you the puppet. So they did, and I was in this room here where I'm sitting with all my junk.
Yeah, I see that.
We shot, I had a friend help me shoot it. They sent me some material to record. I did some dancing and Shock the Monkey, I usually do some goofy stuff. And sent that back, and they said, Tag, you're it. We want to use you.
Yeah,
and again, it was, I don't remember the details. I believe Drew was originally going to do it, and something else came up.
Yeah.
At one time, I think maybe even John Kennedy.
John Kennedy did the pilot, I believe.
But he ended up doing the Panda in the show.
Yes, DJ One.
And John and I are good friends. So
we actually had him on about a couple of months ago. Actually, we had him on my show. Yeah. And you know what he said that he worked so hard on that. He said that he had to every day he would have to have everybody count. He would count. How everybody would do it, and then. Yeah. And speaking of Animal Jam, I do have some DVDs here that were released by Hit Entertainment. If you don't remember Hit Entertainment, they were the ones that released, Kipper, Bob the Builder, Rubber Dubbers, all those. But my favorite show of all time, Thomas and Friends, which is my all-time favorite show. I am a massive Thomas fan. I kid you not. So for the first one, we have Hug-A-Day right here. I actually ordered this right around the time the virus came. So I ordered this around the time. And then we had Springin', which is one that was released.
Yep.
And then last but not least, this is probably my favorite one because I love the music. We have Let's Jam Together. This one was definitely a good one. I love the songs in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, I want to know who did the DVD menu. I don't know if you would know anything about that, but I think it was one of the Jam Room kids, and I said it was that Spencer Locke. She was the girl. She was one of the girls. She was the girl wearing the blue in the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was one of the. I call them star dancers, but you said professional. But
yeah. I don't know. I'd have to see it, but there were a group of very talented young dancers that were on every show.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the kids were actually people that were in the. We shot that in Orlando.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they would bring in either kids from local school systems, or maybe even from the theme park, because we were in Disney MGM.
Yes, of course.
And so that's sort of how it worked. But we would shoot. We would always start the day doing what they called home base, which was just Waffle and Edie doing their intros. Then they would do, I believe after lunch, we would do the songs, whichever songs.
Yes.
We would do the songs at least twice. You would do them standing in front of
a green screen, and then would do one after again after lunch. You do them again after lunch with the kids there.
Yeah, with the kids. So you did it 2 or 3 times.
I don't know if did you guys ever have to do the whole step, like okay, we got to retry that again. Did you all ever redo that? Because it seems like you guys just did everything in just one shot.
We did. We would stop, but it was usually better if you didn't have to. We tried to. We went through a lot of material in a day. Mm-hmm. It was the first time that I had worked on a puppet show where we actually had teleprompters.
Oh, wow.
Normally, the puppeteers, you tape your scripts up around the monitor. But we were going through so much stuff, they added a small monitor. You had your monitor that you looked at for your performance.
Yeah, of course.
Then off to the side, they would attach a smaller monitor, and they would color code our lines.
Yeah.
So they scroll the whole time. So you could, as long as you could perform, you could keep going.
Yeah, of course.
And so we got through a lot of stuff. It was a very physical show, obviously. So it was tiring, but it was a blast.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Of course, and I understand that. And actually, I do actually have a question about those dancers. Some episodes you would see like I said, you would see people like Thea, Marcus, and Spencer, and then the other times you would see the other 3, Giselle, Clara, and Steven in episodes. Yeah. Like what would did you guys choose those those guys for Pacific episodes, or were they just randomly chosen out of the blue?
I think they were all there most of the time. It's probably just a matter of who ended up on camera the most, because I think they were usually up on some sort of dance pedestal, I think.
Yes.
And then the other kids were a little lower.
Yes.
Just because they knew the dance moves.
Oh yeah, I think they had to practice. If
there was a choreographer that worked every day. I can't remember his name, but a wonderful guy, but
Miles Thurber.
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah, because he did stuff for the MMC.
He would do every morning. He would work with the dancers to go through the dance moves.
Oh yes.
And would also work with the puppeteers, because we couldn't do everything they did, but we tried as best we could. So we had to know the choreography too.
Yeah. I am definitely going to have to get I'm going to try to see if I can get Spencer Locke on here, because I want to know her procedure of how they did everything. And also, she's been in a lot of things too, and she's probably the most friendliest jammer that I probably ever crossed on the internet. Yeah. All the other 2 girls, they blocked me. Like 2 of them blocked me. I mentioned them, and they blocked me. And then the other one just put her account on private. I think Thea put her account on private. So, well, they don't want to be recognized. But Spencer does, because she's been in a lot of things. She's been in not just that, but she's been in Kids Bop. She's also been in a couple of Disney things and Nickelodeon, and she also played Jenny in her most popular role, Monster House. This was one of her most popular movies.
Oh, yeah.
So she was Jenny Bennett in that.
And then there was the fellow that was in the Bozark costume.
David Maida,
Yes.
He was very good and had a tough job.
Yeah, I bet. That was very hot, and it was like late spring, early summer too. Like, dang, 20 years ago.
Yeah, they would always fill up the room with fog right before he had to dance. So of course.
It
was tough.
it was a the dance party or something like over there.
I can tell you all really worked hard on that show. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's probably one of the best shows I've ever seen from you, Rickey, because it was also your first main role as Waffle. So
yeah, it's fun to get to do a character from the ground up. So the show only lasted maybe a season or two, but
I forgot to mention about this. I forgot to ask this. Were you guys supposed to go for another season or no? Because
not that I'm aware of. I think we did shot 2 seasons at once, I think is what we did.
Oh, so that means the first 13, and then
I believe there's a minimum number that they like to shoot for like reruns and stuff. I don't remember how many we did.
It says here that you guys did 30 of them.
Yeah, you get 30 episodes.
30 episodes sounds about right, because a season would be probably 15 episodes.
Yeah.
But we shot it all at once. We didn't go back for a second season. We just shot it all at once.
Yeah, you shot it all like maybe in under that much time. I mean, Muppet Central said that you shot it through May 6th through May 9th or May 6th through June 21st of 2002.
Yeah,
that's what it actually said when I read Muppet Central, and that's no surprise.
And it says here that you guys filmed it at Disney MGM Studios.
Yes, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Studios now.
Yes, I've been there before.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, after they took away the whole filming aspect of it.
Oh yeah, there used to be the animation studio down there. They were doing, I think, Lilo and Stitch at one time. There were a couple of big films.
Yes.
But then unfortunately they closed it. I hated that. But.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what some of the jammers were probably doing if you guys weren't filming.
You know what that tells me, as an animation fan?
Yeah.
That tells me that Disney, for about 5 years, gave up on hand-drawn animation completely.
Well, I think what they did is they just moved it all back to LA. They moved it from just because.
Let's not forget. Starting from 2005 to 2008, they only did CGI movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They never. I think Animal Jam was one of the last things they filmed at MGM, because I didn't see anything after that year. Mm-hmm. So I think it was probably one of the last real life things that y'all filmed.
Yeah, I remember. There are 3 shows I worked on there. One was the Muppets at Disney World.
Oh, really?
That was a phenomenal hour-long special.
It's a fun show. And the other was Big Bag, and the other was Animal Jam.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know. I don't think you shot there at the same time. Well, John Kennedy said it was 2000. John Kennedy said you shot Animal Jam 2000. I was like, no, it looks later than that, because it doesn't take that long. It was probably the pilot he was talking about.
Could be.
But I read it from the fact that that Muppet Central said 2002, because somebody said they remembered an elephant. They went on tour and they saw an elephant dancing. So yeah.
I just need to say this quickly. As much as I love Big Bag, believe me, I've seen many episodes and it's great. I still find it very weird that a Muppet-based show would air on the Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was really early on in the cartoon, right after they started.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is.
And
yes.
I don't remember how many episodes we did, but it was a fun show to work on. But yeah, it was another one that was sort of short-lived, but it was fun.
Yeah. So yeah. What's next? Okay, so recently we just had somebody actually pass away from Muppets from Space, actually.
Yeah.
We had somebody we had somebody who played like Gonzo, like the dude that was trying to capture Gonzo. I think that was that's what he played. But
oh wait, no, it was Ray Miotta who played the guard.
Yeah,
just like a week or 2 ago. Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah.
He
passed away of cancer, but you played yourself in there. You didn't really act; you just played yourself.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Made a cameo.
Yeah, that's something I forgot to mention. Along with puppeteering Animal in place of Frank Oz,
yes,
You also were on screen as a Gonzo fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they ask. It's funny because the reason that some of us filled in for Frank on certain scenes, Frank Oz came in. Obviously, he created Animal and Miss Piggy and a bunch of characters that we all have great respect for. But he was finishing up Bowfinger, the film Bowfinger.
Wow.
So he was not available for the entire shoot. So what they did is they asked a few of us to fill in on some of the characters. He came in for maybe 2 days and did Miss Piggy for key Miss Piggy shots with some of the guest stars.
Yeah. In fact, for many people, if you don't know this, you can actually hear the lines of John Kennedy, Peter Linz, and you, Ricky Boyd, in the Muppets from Space trailer. And you can instantly tell, in terms of Miss Piggy, when she's played by Peter Linz and when she's played by Frank Oz.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
we did get to do. I got to do that one scene. I didn't work directly with Ray Liotta, but he was in the booth. You know, when they sneak into the facility where they're all dressed like a big plant or a bush, and Piggy goes up and seduces Ray Liotta. So it's pretty funny. But
I think I remember that.
But it was a lot of fun to do, and you know, it's always an honor to be asked to fill in. It's also a little nerve-wracking because you have such respect for those characters, you know.
Yeah.
But that was and it was great to shoot in Wilmington. I just liked shooting in Wilmington.
Oh yeah, it was shot in Wilmington. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to be interviewing another puppeteer from the Carolinas. Actually, his name is Drew Allison. I don't know if you would know him.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he did some stuff from one of my local PBS stations that I have called WTVI, and he played a puppet called Seymour Good Stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I am actually going to be interviewing him. I actually made a tweet about him saying how much my childhood was the other day with PBS, and he actually responded back to it. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I'm talking about one of my favorite shows. Yeah. And the thing is, I should have watched Animal Jam more during my time. I should have watched it more, like on the TLC and Discovery channels. I should have watched it more because now I'm looking at the show and I'm realizing, oh my gosh, this is really good. Like, I did see it on TV occasionally. I just didn't remember the episodes because it's just real hard because they haven't aired it in so long.
Yeah.
I know they streamed it a couple of years ago on like Tubi, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it is at the moment. But,
yeah, I know. I ripped some of my DVDs and I've posted them on my channel.
Yep.
Alongside with Mason, who actually helped me.
I was gonna say I had the Shake a Leg one I ordered last year from Amazon back in February, and it's in really good shape. Actually, it wasn't like not too glitchy or anything like that. The last one I had.
So we ripped it and we just posted it on there, and I'm very surprised at how much of a fan base that I have brought this. Now, one of my favorites from here, and I do have to say, when y'all did the songs, one of the episodes I know that I really enjoyed was The Rain. I enjoyed that one. That one did not come to DVD. I also loved the whole, trying to think of the episode, that Battle of the Animal Jam Bands. That one was a good episode. I actually loved that episode. I know that.
Me too.
Yeah, it was just, oh my god, one of the times that just made me crack up about it was just, the whole time when y'all were doing the first version of Monkey Say, Monkey Do, half the time y'all were going bounce, reach, crush, brush, and then you guys had the whole tongue sticking out there. Oh my god, that was her. I literally, when I saw it again a year ago, I literally hysterically laughed. I'm like, oh my god, this is a classic. This is a classic. I'm sure they were scripted to do that. Because, why
oh my god. The first time I saw it, I hysterically laughed as well.
Yeah. I actually do. Yeah, I think we do have a fan question, but we'll get them in just a few minutes, of course. We'll get them in just a few minutes. But I just want to say, Waffle, you are the most awesomest cow monkey out there. I bet you really miss it. I bet you miss it. Well, I bet you miss being with Edie.
Yeah, Leslie Carrera is a good friend, and her husband Paul Rudolph, who's one of the music guys on Sesame. So that we talk a lot.
I was trying to get her on my show, but I couldn't. But I tried emailing her back saying I was doing a podcast, but I never got a response from her. I really want her back on the show.
But she did like my fan art I made of Edie back in 2020.
Yeah, we emailed her once, and then we emailed her once and we got a response once, but we emailed her something else and she never got back. And I'm like, man, I really want her on my show. I got to get her on.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, the two composers, Michael and Patty Silvershear, did a very good job on the music. And yes, I just reminded you of them. I'm gonna be having them probably next episode. I gotta text them and see if they can, see if I can.
No, they were really good. Really enjoyed working with them.
Yeah,
well. They were great.
Yeah,
but come on, we all know that nobody can do theme song composers like Peter Lurry.
Oh yes, Peter Lurry, dude. Yes, man, I got Peter Lurry, man. Yeah. I saw that. I know that some of the kids. I actually read this from somebody. Somebody said that the only kids that were well behaved on set got to come back and they got to shoot the theme song with you. So one of the kids texted me about that. Mm-hmm. Like somebody said that they were on the show, and they got back. It wasn't. Well, I don't think it was any of the professional kids, but it was some of the kids in the
opening.
In the opening there, I found some of their names. One of their names was Lindsay. One of their names was Gabrielle. Somebody was James. And then I think some of them were were two sisters, I believe, like Madison and Keltley. I found them, and that's pretty much all I pretty much know. I don't know anybody else's names that I found out. But I gotta say, you all did a fantastic job on the show, and
thank you.
I can't wait till and Henson just came out with the Family Hub. Hopefully, they will be able to release the whole series, and I will be able to take a review on it. Because I gotta say, this show is really I know that it's gonna be great when I see it. It's gonna be great. So I don't know if anybody has any more questions for Rickey, but I know that a fan does, and we gotta get this because he only had so much time.
Yeah, we got 14 minutes left, I believe.
Yes.
Wait, I don't see a chat anywhere.
You don't see it? No. Somebody on Instagram. Her name's Tori Benson. And she had questions. She actually has 4, actually. I'm going to go on and get to them. So, for the first question she asks is, how did you get into puppetry? I mean, and of course you explained that beforehand. You know.
Yeah. Just as a fan and starting to build my own puppets with a friend when we were about 10 or 11 and going to the local TV station and playing around in front of the cameras.
She said, what were your favorite characters? What was your favorite song or moment? What were your favorite characters to perform? I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here.
Oh, that's okay. To perform, Waffle's got to be one of them.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
But I don't know. I didn't really do only did kind of secondary characters, but I enjoyed Laughing Boy and Art the Armadillo. They were all fun. They're kind of one-offs, but sometimes those are a lot of fun. Like the Moose on Sesame, it was a one-day thing.
Oh yes.
It's fun to try to give them a little character, even if they're briefly in something. Yeah. And it was fun. It's always an honor to do classic characters, but there's also a lot of pressure.
New ones as well.
And you don't want to screw up somebody else's character.
Yeah, of course. That's the best. That's the best part of it. And she also asked, what was your favorite song or favorite moment for Waffle? And I think you said in the James Nobes interview, Star Hopper, Mudstopper, and all was one that you enjoyed doing.
Yeah, those were fun. The songs were a lot of fun.
Yes, they were. And Michael and Patty, I think that's probably the best part of what brings Animal Jam together. That's what's bringing Animal Jam together right now is the songs. Because every time I uploaded a song, everybody literally went crazy for it. Like, I kid you not. I posted a song and everybody went crazy.
Yeah.
And then she asks, what do you like best about puppeteering? And she's hoping that we have fun. Yes, we're having fun right now.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Puppeteering, I mean, the fun of it is just being able to become another character, pretend to be somebody else.
Yeah, because of course, you're voice acting.
Puppets are, I'm not someone that particularly, I was an art and theater major, but I don't particularly like being on camera or on stage.
Of course, and this is going to be recorded, so this is an audio record, so.
So it's good to be able to put a character on and come up with a personality and a voice that matches and kind of explore and just have fun and play.
Absolutely. So I've been voice acting myself. I've been doing a couple of, I've done some Thomas redubs, and I've actually done some things with a good friend of mine, Michael Ruffins, who was actually my last episode because I couldn't get anybody. Yes. We're actually working on a new show right now. He hasn't told me much about it. I can't display much about it, but I'm going to be doing some voice acting myself. That's really cool. But yeah. I mean, no, I know he probably is a little hectic at the moment to come out, but I actually had some questions for Waffle actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. So Waffle,
this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
This
So
is gonna be good.
yeah. So Waffle, would you like Animal Jam if you were to come back to have an Animal Jam job, would you like to have a reboot again?
Well, of course I would. I think as long as we could find Edie, we could do it.
Oh yes, Waffle. Yes, Waffle. I'm pretty sure you miss her right now. I'm pretty sure you do. I wonder what Edie's doing. I haven't seen Edie around, actually. I've seen you around without your hat, Waffle.
Yeah, that's my twin brother. I don't do that
stuff. Exposed! Burn, Waffle, burn! That's what I miss about your personality.
If he's not wearing a cowboy hat, it's not me.
Good, exactly, because you're the one. There's only one Waffle, and that's you.
I like to call one dodge bullet.
So, I gotta ask, who was your favorite kid from the show that you worked with? Who was fun? Because
I really can't say. I'd get in a lot of trouble with the other kids.
Oh yeah.
No.
Honestly, I'm gonna say my favorite jammer is Spencer because Spencer is nice and she never blocked me and she never put her account on private, so she's the best girl there.
Yeah.
So screw the other girl. Screw all you three girls.
Oh jeez.
Nobody.
You'll never get them now.
Okay. Sam, we had this game talk before.
I'm just laughing, guys. I'm sorry. I'm laughing. I'm having a good time here. But
I'm just messing with you, Sam.
I know. I'm laughing. I'm having a good time here. I'm sorry. This has got to be one of my favorite interviews now.
Oh my God, yes. I actually have a question for Waffle.
Yeah, go ahead and answer. We got about 8 minutes.
And I think this is probably a funny question. Hey, Waffle. Just a curious question. What would you do if somebody stole your bananas?
I guess I'd call 911.
Or stole your hat. Would you be mad about that?
I would not be happy.
No, I'm sure you would.
Get an emotional support pet.
Yeah, because I think in one episode, I haven't seen it yet, but you lost your hat and then you couldn't remember, and I'm sure you were upset.
Yeah, I look kind of funny without a hat.
Yeah, but don't worry. I think that you're awesome with the hat.
No, that's very nice.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think I have one. And for you, Waffle, my birthday is coming up in about a few weeks, and I will be turning 23, so is there any way I can get a birthday shout out from you?
Sure. Tell me your name again.
My name is
Mason.
Mason.
His name's Mason.
Mason.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Mason. From Waffle to Cow Monkey. Wiggle your cow monkey ears.
That's right. Now listen up with your cow monkey ears, everybody. Waffle is having a good time. Waffle just had a great time today, and Waffle, we want to thank you for being a guest on here for Entertainment Treasure Talk.
Well, thank you. I'm very flattered.
Yeah, of course.
And we thank you all. And we thank you all for listening to us. And we hope you have an amazing day.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, but this is my cow monkey impression right here. I hope that my cow monkey impression is really good for you, Waffle, because maybe I could be the next Waffle, or maybe I could be the next DJ too. Who knows?
Well,
It could be DJ one. Oh yeah.
Well, you know what they say.
So good.
You know what they say.
Great.
Cow monkeys always have to stick together.
Yeah, and also for Sesame Beginnings, and I think I know the story about Scooter and Scooter. You guys just played around. They randomly just chose you. You actually did a real good Scooter impression.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, I think that's what you just chose about it. You just chose Scooter, and they just you had to pick up one by one, pick up Scooter, or pick up this, and then you guys just diddled around with Scooter a little bit.
Right.
And for oh my gosh, you actually did a really good job on Cookie Monster's grandma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
Was a lot of fun.
You actually literally went to Kaufman and filmed all that, and also Leslie was Prairie.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, she was Prairie Dawn's mother.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, I gotta say, I had pretty much fun today, but.
Oh my God, me too.
I actually had really much fun today, and also I'm glad that I'm correcting you on those kids' names, because it was 2002 was so long ago.
Yes.
That's like almost 20 years, and we're probably going to be doing something for the 20th anniversary of Animal Jam. So I'm probably gonna invite you and John, and if I can get Leslie, and maybe even the Jammers back. I would love to get anybody who was on that show on here, because February is going to be it.
I'd like to see that.
February is going to be it, and February 20. I don't know. I can't remember on the top of my head. I'll have to
just
look it
give
up.
us a call. We probably.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know who would be busy or not, but I would love to see Maddie.
You would like to see Matt? Oh yeah, Maddie's one of our friends. She actually does the thumbnails for my podcast. So shout out to
Maddie.
Yeah, but I don't think she's going to be able to. She's
163.
really she says she doesn't really want to, but I'm not. Yeah, she said it would be too much for her because she doesn't know what to say. So. Yeah, but you know what? I just got to say, I thank you for your service 20 years ago. I am so proud of it.
Yep.
I want to thank you and all those jammers 20 years ago from this time for all the, all that work you did. I cannot wait to get more on here. I hope I can get Leslie, and I hope I can get probably Spencer, because I've gotten a response from her before. I gotten a like from her before, and I've gotten a like from her mom on Instagram before. So maybe I can mention to them about it and ask them if they would like to be a part. I would love to get them here, and I can ask them about their procedure and what they wanted to do and how everything was supposed to go. But I will definitely give you a call, and if we have if anybody has any questions about if anybody has any questions to Rickey, you can reach him at Magnetic Dreams. You can reach him at Magnetic Dreams or Magnetic whatever the email is. You can reach him at that. You can just ask for Rickey and he'll be there. And yeah, guys, I was very excited. So hopefully, guys, next episode, if I am able to, I can't wait for our guests. I do plan to have more from the podcast, everyone. And yeah, we're gonna be having Michael and Patty. Possibly next episode if I can message them, and in the future we're going to be having some people from PBS, so be on the lookout for that.
Maybe this thing could get so big we might even be able to get someone like Matt Vogel on this thing.
Oh yes, I would love to have one of my favorite narrators, Michael Brandon, on here as well. Maybe if I can get him in here, I would love to. Yeah, he was the longest U.S. narrator for Thomas. So if you don't remember seeing the modeled era of Thomas when he did that, my gosh, Yeah, and I had a blast. But yeah, guys, we only have less than a minute left, so I'm gonna go on ahead and just say thank you all for watching. And yeah, everybody, I am very happy to be interviewing, all these four. Don't forget to subscribe to, follow these people on social media. And yeah,
please be sure. So please, never forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to all of us on our various social media.
Also, we want to say happy 20th anniversary to Animal Jam. Happy 20th anniversary for you, Waffle, and your work. We appreciate all that you've done, and you deserve a big round of applause. So thank you, Waffle. Thank you, Waffle. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. It's been great to meet you guys.
Yep. All right, and I can't wait to do this again. I'm going to probably do something like this again for the 20th anniversary, and I cannot wait for it. So, until then, everybody, thank you for watching the Entertainment Treasure Talk, and we will see everybody in the next episode. See everybody later.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.